virgin bleach application, okay? So you start thinking about virgin bleach. You want to think about your safety precautions, right? So you have your double drape, okay? We're going to put protective cream all the way around her hairline. And then also you have to think about bleach being pretty toxic. Has a very high pH, and so it can burn the scalp. So the application is set up so that it doesn't touch the scalp as soon as it's on the hair. Okay, so the application is going to be 1/2 inch away from the scalp, right? So you're going to stay outside the heat zone, and then it's going to be. Sometimes there's controversy between to and through. Sometimes people say, that it's through, that way you get an even color, and then some people say to. Okay, can't remember which one I put into the thingy, but I'm gonna go for the through the ends. Okay, because sometimes it's just not quite enough. Heat on the ends of the hair, and you don't quite get enough color change. Okay. So any questions about that? Okay, so we're gonna, and also we're going to start in the back, because generally people they say his hair is darker in the back, so that darker hair is gonna need a little bit more time to change color. Okay, so to get bleached up, to remove all the melanin in the hair. So we're gonna start in the back. Okay, so those are some of the precautions that you want to take for virgin bleach application. Okay, so as always, sanitize your hands before you get into your supplies. You want to go ahead and grab your gloves. We just talked about contact dermatitis, and so you want to make sure that that you stay away from any contaminants, any type of chemicals, as much as you possibly can, so that you can avoid contact dermatitis. Get my protective cream. Put it on the back of my hand. Protective cream around the hairline. Remember, about 1/2 inch all the way around. Make sure you protect the top of the ears. Client protection is very important. You want to make sure that you remember. Any questions about that? Now we'll get our shaving cream. Okay. So remember, our application, okay, is going to be 1/2 inch away from the scalp through the ends. Okay. on and away. Okay. So don't forget your paper towel. That's going to go on the top over, so when you lay it down, your product doesn't get on the other hair or on the scalp. Remember, you don't want this bleach to get on the scalp until the second application. Okay. So you're going to take your between a quarter of and 1/8. Well, so bleaching doesn't move as well as hair color does. So you want to take thinner sections. So your subsections are going to be 1/8 of an inch. Okay, 1/8 of an inch, because it doesn't spread. It doesn't move as well as traditional hair color. Okay, does that make sense? So your application is going to be a thinner application, so you get better penetration of your product. Okay. So you want to make sure that you know where your heat zone is. So it's 1/2 inch, and you'd be better off to go away a little bit and then get closer to make sure that you get your 1/2 inch. Okay. And then you'll go. You go through the ends. If you get product anywhere it's not supposed to be, just take a second, wipe it off. Okay. So 1/8 of an inch is a pretty thin section. But within that, you'll be able to get really good penetration of product. You're gonna need that. Okay. And then this is going to be important for you to make sure that you don't press the product onto the head. You know, we talk about the banana peel. This one's going to be important for that as well. Okay, and then crisscross. And the banana peel is important because when you round, that won't allow the product to get to the scalp. Okay, you do not want it in the heat zone. Okay. So this one is going to be practicing finding that 1/8 away from this, 1/2 inch away from the scalp. And can you see that the hair, when it rounds on the side, your brush must round. Otherwise, you won't get the same even 1/2 inch everywhere. So you must take your brush and angle it on the sides, okay? Otherwise, you'll have more than 1/2 inch on the sides. And that's what usually when people are evaluating, that's what they can see. So if you don't round your brush, you're going to lose points, and because they're going to say that you went further than out 1/2 inch. Okay. Any questions so far? So really focus on 1/2 inch away from the scalp, out. And if you hold your hair up, you can be assured not to get it in the heat zone, which is really important. Okay, and then banana peel, hold. Then as the hair gets wider, you really need to angle your brush. Okay, so angle your brush in order to get it to your 1/2 inch on the sides. Okay. See over here, I'm angling, not staying straight, because the head rounds, you have to angle your brush. So round your brush. Make sure you get full saturation. And banana peel, see, nice fold, okay? Keep it off the scalp. Now, as the head starts to get wide at the in the back, you might want to separate into 2. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. So that's pretty wide. That's a lot of hair to work with from there to there. Okay, so separate it in half. Okay, does that make sense? So once you do the whole entire head in this way, your first application will pull down each one. So you can use the tip of your brush. You can't get the pieces to separate. Use right in a circle with the banana peel, laying down. You keep control. Okay. So then you're going to, once you do the whole entire head, this first application, you're going to test for color development. Okay, so you're going to take a strand test. Okay. Water bottle. Always start in the top where you started. It's going to be on the bleach or whatever the product is going to be on there longer, so you get a better. Okay. You use the product. Check for color development. And then reapply. Okay. So when you reapply it the way you did your first application. Okay. And then grab the rest of the section and apply it to the part that was left out in the first application, which is scalp hair to line demarcation, okay? So by the time you guys get to this, lean it over but if you think you got to get it on the scalp of the other sections, go ahead and put a paper towel down. Because you only want this product to be where you're working, okay? Try to use your same banana peels. Make sure you angle that brush. Get full saturation of those corners. Okay. Then when you're done, bring it all back down. Go to your next section, all the way around the hip. Okay, and then in theory, once you went all the way around the head, you're going to wait for it to process. Then if you wanted to, you could take another strand test for color development to see how it's working between the heat zone and mid shaft and ends. Okay, so you could take another strand test. Because by the time you put it on the ends of the hair, by the time you put it in the heat zone, which is zone 1, it's going to start moving really fast. Okay, and so check for the color development is a good idea once you finish the entire head. So same thing, spray water, smooth it off. This time you want to make sure that you get close to the scalp. The first time there was nothing to check at close to the scalp. This time you want to check close to the scalp. Color development. Okay, you're done. Okay. So any questions about virgin bleach application? Okay. So you're gonna
sorry.
Yeah.
How long should this take, like on that length of hair in real life?
It actually takes a while, but you have to, by the time you get ready to do one of these in real life, hopefully you could get it within 30 minutes. And that's why it's important to not go on the heat zone. So you want to stay off the scalp and let the hair process on the mid shaft and ends, because if you were to put it right on the scalp right away, she's going to be on fire before you get through the rest of the head. And that's why it's important to practice this. The more you practice, the faster you will become, and the more efficient you will be when you start working on a client. Okay, because this does take a while because the subsections are so thin. But you'll find that if you don't, with real bleach, and it's true, if you don't do thin subpartings, you're going to have a lot of holidays. Okay, because it dries fast and it's just not as pliable and flexible as traditional hair color. Okay, that was a good question. Any other questions? Okay, so